Hello guys, this time I will review a mythological movie, especially if it's not a dragon. This movie is called Damsel. Okay, let's see what's exciting about this film. The film begins with the showing of a dragon hunt led by King Joffrey.
Kill the beast! For glory!
Upon arriving at the cave suspected to be the dragon's lair, King Joffrey immediately forms a defensive formation. Upon hearing the dragon's roar, King Joffrey orders his soldiers to prepare. As his troops scatter, King Joffrey, now feeling defeated, plunges his swords and kneels before the dragon. Fast forward hundreds of years later, in a distant land, a beautiful princess named Elodie along with her sister Floria are busy gathering firewood. In the midst of the barren and desolate surroundings, they are surprised to see a luxurious royal carriage approaching their arid kingdom.
Why are they leaving? There's nothing left for them here.
Get up!
Share this with your sister. Come on, Flo. Move on.
When Elodie and Floria arrive, a red-robed priest representing the kingdom of Arya is amazed by Elodie's beauty. Later, Elena, who is about to leave, hands a royal decree to the very poor King Winston. After reading the decree, Winston smiles upon learning that the prince from the kingdom of Arya intends to propose to Elodie. In disbelief, Winston reveals that this proposal could be a solution for their now poor and desolate kingdom. Elodie and her family are seen embarking on a voyage to the distant kingdom of Arya. During this time, Floria tries to calm her nervous sister, and shortly after, their stepmother named Mary instructs them to enter as she does not want Elodie to fall ill when meeting the family. As their ship enters thick fog, Winston arrives and informs them that they will soon reach the borders of the Arya kingdom. Elodie immediately sends a strong mystical aura upon entering.
What in the world?
After passing through the dragon god of the kingdom, they are amazed by the beauty of the lost Arya kingdom. They admire its prosperity by horse-drawn carriage and her taken directly to the palace. Upon arriving in the palace courtyard, they are welcomed by the head servant named Bailis and escorted to their prepared chambers.
Is this a dream?
If you want these people to think we...
I think I had a rather limited
In their luxurious room surpassing their expectation, Bailis informs Elodie that she will meet Prince Henry the next day along with the royal family. As Elodie becomes more nervous, her father takes Floria and Mary outside so Elodie can rest. After everyone leaves, Elodie goes to the balcony to enjoy the beauty of nature.
Everyone's waiting.
Night falls. falls, and unable to sleep, Elodie stands on the balcony and is surprised to see the woman's room open with no one around. She also noticed a flickering fire on the mountain slope. The next day, Elodie pays her respect to Prince Henry and the Aurea royal family before their wedding ceremony. Queen Isabel asks Henry to take Elodie for a walk to strengthen their relationship in the garden. Elodie confidently converses with the prince, leaving him captivated and feeling uneasy with the guards. Elodie invites Henry for a horseback ride.
Where'd you learn to ride like that?
I saw something.
Upon reaching a hill while enjoying the beauty of Aurea Kingdom, Elodie curiously asks about the tree she saw on the mountain slope. Henry explained that it is part of an ancient ritual in his family, though Elodie doesn't fully understand. Meanwhile, at the palace, after Queen Isabel and her attendants leave, Mary inquires about the outcome of her negotiations with the royal family. She noticed Winston looking distressed despite his reassurances. Sensing something amiss, Mary rushes to verify. As Queen Isabel is busy surveying decorations, Mary suddenly arrives asking about the upcoming wedding that is about to take place. Isabel, feeling offended by Mary's audacity, immediately reminds her of the caste difference between them, especially since the marriage of Henry and Elodie is nothing more than a mutually beneficial business deal between the two kingdoms. Mary, feeling resentful, intends to inform Elodie about this in the evening. She tells Elodie that something is amiss with this marriage and asks her to cancel it. However, before Elodie can think about it, her father arrives and asks Mary to leave so Elodie can rest on the day of the wedding.
I hope you know what you're doing.
The servants are busy dressing Elodie in a complicated gown until the wedding ceremony begins. As the wedding ceremony commences, Winston escorts the beautiful Elodie to the altar. And after becoming officially a princess of the Aurea Kingdom, Elodie prepares to follow the Aurea Kingdom's ritual.
Where are we going?
Do you remember how I told my ancestors?
Upon reaching the Rocky Mountain Cave, Elodie is astonished to see the royal family wearing strange masks. In the midst of her confusion, Elena the priest gives Elodie and Henry a gold coin and leads them to the altar. Feeling uneasy, Elodie listens as Elena recounts the legend of the Aurea Kingdom, where King Joffrey first discovered the island and encountered creatures that had lived there longer. They attacked him but were defeated, and the king was required to offer 3 of their offspring in each generation as a peace agreement.
She is now of royal blood. Our kingdom thrives forevermore.
After the blood union ceremony, Henry carries Elodie, who initially was scared but now feels calm. Unexpectedly, the marriage turns out to be a gimmick to make Elodie a sacrifice. For a short period of time amidst her pain, miraculously Elodie survived despite suffering injuries all over her body. Unbeknownst to her, her screams alert the dragon that another victim has been offered. Frustrated, Elodie realizes she has been made a sacrifice. And she is shocked to see a burning bird. In the midst of trying to find a way out of the situation, Elodie panics upon hearing growling approaching. Unexpectedly, the dragon can speak and reveals that it only upholds its promise to the Aurea Kingdom, where they must offer 3 sacrifices from their descendants each generation. The blood union ceremony was a trick by the Aurea Kingdom to deceive the dragon. The dragon, wanting to enjoy the hunt, asks Elodie to run. Shocked, Elodie discovers the body of a woman she had seen in the kingdom. Tries to escape. Despite her efforts, she gets injured due to her skirt frame. After bandaging her injured foot, Elodie continues her escape using perfume from her gown as illumination. Falling from the cave ceiling, she panics when the only light goes out but is surprised to see blue light in the darkness. Exhausted and contemplating her fate, Elodie remembers the sweet promises of the prince who deceived her and her family. After a difficult journey across the cave, Elodie realizes that the blue light comes from a glowing caterpillar and has an idea to create illumination. Thirsty and desperate, she tries to drink water from a melting ice chunk.
You hide now.
Almost caught by the dragon, Elodie is shocked to see dresses and names of victims in that place. She is deeply shocked to learn that sacrifices have been made on countless women before her and realizes that this place is a safe zone used by victims. After a moment of protection, Elodie, who was about to rest, tried to open the bandage on her foot, resulting in an infected wound that caused her to have a fever. In a semi-conscious state, Elodie suddenly saw the previous victim who had hidden in the cave. At this moment, Elodie panicked as the maggot she broke with her crawled on the wound on her foot. To her surprise, the wound on her foot miraculously healed and Elodie felt that these maggots were healing maggots. After all the wounds on her body healed, Elodie, who was trying to escape, was seen memorizing a map of the cave made by the victim.
Bird cave with twisted tunnel. The glowworm cave. 3 ways. Take the middle crystals. I am free.
After memorizing the route, Elodie hurriedly continued her escape. She found path of crystal rocks and was delighted to have found a way out of the cave. Seeing a crown with the initial V, Elodie was convinced that Victoria and had also managed to escape. However, their difficulties did not end there, as the dragon appeared and began to chase them. Eventually, Elodie managed to reach the exit, but she was shocked to realize that from the end of the path she had taken. In the midst of despair, she saw several horsemen and immediately shouted for help.
Not for any of you.
It turned out that Victoria had died on the spot. Cornered, the dragon said that they had to pay for 3 lives they had taken. However, as the dragon prepared to breathe fire, it heard soldiers searching for Elodie. Realizing that her father had come to fetch her, Elodie hurriedly returned into the cave. At that moment, Winston, accompanied by 2 soldiers and a guard, managed to enter the cave and began searching. Elodie, who had just discarded Rosa to find her father but stopped when she reached the dragon lair. Where there were the corpses of 3 baby dragons. Finally, Elodie understood that the dragon had sighed. The sacrifice it demanded was a consequence of King Joffrey's cruel action in the past when he ordered his soldiers to kill 3 newly hatched baby dragons.
You will know my pain.
Realizing that that alone was not enough, the dragon wanted 3 sacrifices in every 3 generations of King Joffrey's descendants. Winston returned to continue his search.
It's surely taken over here by now to devour it.
Islam.
King Winston, after losing 2 of his soldiers, forced into a fight when cornered. Winston had no choice but to face the dragon. Winston found himself a difficult situation. The dragon wanted to continue hunting and asked him to call Elodie out of hiding. However, realizing that his daughter was still alive, Winston immediately apologized to Elodie for his action and regretted sacrificing her for the prosperity of his people who were suffering in poverty. When the dragon pursued him, Winston tried to redeem his mistake by asking Elodie to escape. Witnessing her father murder, Elodie's terrified scream distracted the dragon. When the dragon was distracted by the gate, Elodie approached her dying father, who asked her to escape and forgive him. Briefly being deceived by the dragon, Elodie rushed to thwart its efforts. Just in time, Elodie managed to escape using a horse provided by her father. At the moment Queen Isabel, saying the sky ablaze, realized that the sealing ceremony for Elodie had failed. In the midst of the terror of the rampaging dragon, Floria and Mary panic upon hearing the royal troops were approaching.
She's just a slayer!
The next day, Elodie could hardly believe that she had escaped from the dragon rage and found her family waiting for her. She quickly headed to the port but panicked when Mary arrived and informed her that Queen Isabel had made Floria a substitute sacrifice. Upon hearing this news, a panicked Elodie rushed back to the dragon's lair to save Floria, while Queen Isabel performed the sealing ritual on Floria at the altar. Feeling that her sister had been sacrificed, Elodie immediately returned inside the cave, and now Elodie, who had memorized everything, was seen preparing. Elodie was ready to face the dragon. Meanwhile, while holding Floria, the dragon was seen waiting for Elodie's arrival. When the dragon was deceived, Elodie, who didn't want to waste time, immediately woke up Floria and tried to carry her away. At that moment, the dragon, feeling deceived, hurried back to its lair.
Where are you hiding?
Brandishing its words, Elodie tried to clarify the misunderstanding that the dragon had believed all this time, especially that all the victims the dragon had killed were not descendants of King Joffrey, but rather the short-sighted the dragon itself, not believing all of Elodie's words. In the midst of the pain from burns, Elodie hurriedly picked up her fallen sword. After severely injuring the dragon, a tired Elodie seemed confused about continuing the fight. Seeing the dust blowing in another direction, Elodie had an idea while retelling the sins committed by the Arya Kingdom, hoping that the dragon could see the truth. But if the dragon didn't believe her, Elodie was willing to sacrifice herself to be burned as Burn me! Elodie successfully trapped the dragon, and when the dragon was dying, Elodie immediately saw a wound on her hand, which was a way they used to deceive the dragon into thinking she was a descendant of King Joffrey. Elodie said that if all the dragon had been doing was killing innocent girls, in other words, once again, the descendants of King Joffrey had followed it. Saying this, the regretful dragon chose to surrender and asked Elodie to finish it off. However, Elodie, who wanted the descendants of King Joffrey to receive fair punishment, decided to treat the dragon using healing maggots. The next day, as the Arya Kingdom held Queen Isabel's third wedding ceremony, panic ensued upon finding a dragon coin. Elodie saw Henry's arrival in a panic, trying to apologize, but Queen Isabel immediately scolded Elodie, the poor child who had no manners. Seemingly careless, Elodie asked the bride and groom to flee as far as possible. Not only that, some servants who felt something bad would happen immediately fled, leaving the palace. Suddenly, the royal family and their lackeys could only stare in disbelief when they saw the arrival of the dragon. Finally, the cruel descendants of King Joffrey perished along with the crumbling Arya palace that burned down. As a form of gratitude, the dragon became a protector for Elodie and her royal family. In short, before returning to the north where she now ruled as the former Arya kingdom's ruled, Elodie asked for Merry help in managing her kingdom. As Elodie and her family began their journey, the dragon was seen guarding Elodie. The movie has ended. how exciting it was. The foolishness of a king who killed 3 baby dragons had to be paid dearly. After the dragon demanded 3 sacrifices in every generation since Elodie was chosen as King Joffrey's descendant-in-law, dark secrets about the royal family were revealed after she was made a substitute sacrifice at the dragon's request. But thanks to her preference, Elodie managed to awaken the dragon that had been deceived by the cunning descendants of King Joffrey until finally the dragon sought revenge and made the lineage of King Joffrey extinct. And at the end of the story, as a form of gratitude, the dragon became a protector of Elodie's kingdom. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye bye.